This demo is based on creating a personalized in-vehicle assistant leveraging Amazon's AI and machine learning to create this really interactive, intelligent experience in the vehicle. This demo is really intended to focus on a art of the possible for how you can apply these services to create your own unique brand experience. But the key point is we're relying on the power of the AWS cloud services. So in this case, we're using our advanced machine learning API services, including Rekognition, which does the facial recognition and sentiment analysis that we'll see. And we're using Lex and Poly for the voice interactions. We're also using our Lambda serverless compute to really tie together, when we know the intent of the customer, what action to take on that. So again, those are the rules that you would define as a brand. In this case, we have some ideas to kind of create this new next generation experience. The first thing we do is we're going to set up the cloud profile. In this case, we can think about this as the next generation of dealership experience. This could also be how you would sign up for a car sharing service, or in the future when autonomy, this may be how you actually buy a car. So in this demo, we go through and we set up our profile. We put in our name. We get to choose a theme for how we want the interior to look. And we have some choices here for fuel stations. This could be restaurant recommendations. This could be music choices. Really even connect to Spotify or Facebook and really learn from the customer's choices. But in this case, we made it relatively simple for the purposes of demonstration. Then the final thing we do is we're going to take a picture of the user. So once we take this picture, then we create that profile, we save it, and we send it up to the cloud. If we look at what we're doing in this case, is we're using our Identity Access Manager, which is really handling the interactions and the security side of things. We're going to Rekognition when we save that profile, and we're taking the picture and we're storing it in a face collection. We're also storing all the preferences in our S3 bucket in AWS, so that's our storage solution, and we're indexing that. So if you think about this in the context of a household vehicle, a single-use vehicle, there may be only 2 or 3 faces in that face collection that represent the people in your household. If you think about this in car sharing, this could be hundreds of thousands or millions of users' faces that are up there. And it shows you the scalability of the platform based on what you need to do as a brand. That's the benefit here of the ability to scale without really any changes or any infrastructure requirements up front. Now that we have our profile saved, we're going to go to the vehicle. So now what we've set up here is either coming into your vehicle in the morning, or maybe this is your car sharing vehicle. We're going to hit start and initiate the camera. So it's now recognized my face. It's pulled in the profile that I created, which I chose sporty. We're doing some sentiment analysis. So it's recognized that I'm happy, I'm smiling this morning when I got in the car.
Good morning, Marky.
And it greets me. At the same time, what we did was we pulled in my calendar information. This could be an integration with your phone. This could be an integration with a cloud-based service like Microsoft Exchange or Google Calendar, whatever it may be, whatever the brand and the customer decide. But what we see here now is it's 11:41 a.m. and we have a meeting at 12:30 that we need to get to.
It looks like you have a meeting at 12:30 p.m. in Henderson. How can I help you?
Take me there.
Okay, navigating to your meeting in Henderson.
So in this case, by knowing the context of what time it was, my calendar information, and the information within that calendar, I can have these really simple interactions. So take me there, guide me there, let's go. Things that are more natural and proactive in terms of how you interact with the AI. Now we're on our way, and we obviously know all of the information for our destination, traffic, the distance to empty, and the distance we have to travel. So in this case, it's identified that we're running low on fuel.
You will need to stop for gas before the end of your trip. You have time to do it now, if you want.
Let's do it.
I know you prefer Shell, Chevron, and Mobil, but BP is offering a discount today. Which would you prefer?
BP.
Okay, navigating to BP on the way to your meeting in Henderson.
Several things happened here. One, it recognized that we were low on fuel. That's kind of the easy part. But then it provided a very critical piece of information here, as it said, you have time. So knowing that you have time to stop now, I can say, okay, let's decide to stop. So I said, let's do it. It recognized then, let's do it, to mean let's go get some fuel. And then it pulled down my fuel preferences. So the top 3 choices there were the preferences that I chose when I set up my profile. But then I also had an e-commerce integration here where in this case, by knowing exactly the intent of the driver, I can deliver something that instead of being an annoyance, it actually could deliver value. So most of us aren't very brand loyal when it comes to fuel. I got a 10 cent per gallon discount on BP. Okay, sure, I'll take that. So I decided to go to BP instead of one of my normal choices. So this is one example of how you can integrate e-commerce and monetize the platform in a way, instead of being an annoyance to the customer, can actually deliver customer value. The next one we're going to look at is productivity. So when I hit the button here, we're going to get an incoming message. Read my message.
You've received a calendar invite, moving your 9:30 a.m. meeting tomorrow to 10:30.
Am I available?
You are available from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Would you like to accept or reject the invite?
Accept it.
Great. The update has been accepted.
So in this case, again, we've have an incoming message and we're able to read that message, which are kind of a standard function, but we also did natural language understanding on the message itself. By knowing the context of that message, we can then have that next step of interaction. The message wants me to change my meeting tomorrow. Of course, maybe tempted to pull out my phone and look at my calendar, or maybe wait and delay the response until later. But in this case, I'm able to say, am I available? So that calls the function then to say, okay, let me check my calendar at that particular time. And it came back and told me you have a window open from 9 to 12. So now I know I can respond and accept that meeting invite and take care of that, something that normally would be high cognitive load, make it very easy and make it very conversational. So you can think about this in the context of maybe you just receive a text message that comes in and it's a friend asking if you can meet for lunch tomorrow. And you would ask back, am I available for lunch tomorrow? If you're available, then you can respond to that text and say, sure, let's meet at a given restaurant. So again, it's the ability to use this type of AI and build these very, very intelligent and safe interactions inside the vehicle. If we look at what we've done architecturally here, everything's being managed by the identity access manager to make sure that all these interactions are secure. And this is where Lex and Polly are the speech function, but Lex is really the one that's understanding the context of and the intent of my actions. In this case, when I ask it if I was available, it was Lex that understands what I intend to do, calling on our serverless compute Lambda functions that then went and checked my calendar. So again, these types of interactions are what you would define as a brand. In this case, we showed something that gives a good example, one maybe common use case. So the last thing we're going to do is look at some vehicle functionality and how you can really redefine the in-vehicle experience and make that more simple as well. In this case, we're going to look at Bluetooth pairing.
There are no phones paired. Would you like me to pair one now?
Sure.
Okay. Searching for your phone. Select it if you see it on the list.
So we just walked through a very simple case of something that's usually very complex, which is pairing a phone. Turn on the heated seats.
Okay. Turning heated seats on.
So these things that are just very easy to do in the car, you don't really need to rely on cloud services and a bunch of data. These are things where our Greengrass service comes into play. So Greengrass is our ability to extend the cloud down to the vehicle and do some very advanced functionality without even requiring a constant connection. So Greengrass essentially extends the cloud down and allows you to do all of these types of things using the same programming language, the same machine learning models, deploy them down to the edge. And if you have a spotty connection, or even if you want to lower your reliance on the cloud and connectivity, you can make that choice as a brand how much you want to push to the edge or how much you want to do in the cloud. So if you have very good connectivity at very low cost, you would push more to the cloud. If you have high cost or have problems with your connectivity that you don't rely on, you push that down to the edge. So this is something that only AWS offers and allows even the ability to do machine learning inferences at the edge. So in the use case we used of calling recognition and recognizing the driver's face, you could actually run that as an edge case, train your own models, run them at the edge, and then if you're deep in a parking garage and you don't have that connectivity, that functionality would still operate because it doesn't require cloud connectivity, but then the next time you do connect, it's able to sync up and make sure that everything is secure and up to date with the latest information in the cloud. To summarize in this demo, we built something for demonstration purposes. In reality, we would run Greengrass at the edge on the vehicle side, and we would be able to use a full suite of AWS services to build any type of interactions, analytics, deep learning, machine learning, insights, data insights, connectivity to your CRM systems and other integrations. And then, of course, bringing in the Alexa services for the voice assistant and other Amazon products to build out whatever experience you want in the vehicle. This demo was intended to show how you can use Amazon and AWS to create a really personalized in-vehicle experience. We'd love to work with you as a brand to determine what experience you want to deliver for your customers. Thank you for watching.